Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Hey,
Hey!
ho, hey, ho.
All right, ladies and gents, we're just talking about exit strategy. So that's what this last minute
Oh, it's
episode
ridiculous,
is for
and I love it.
Because you got to think of your way out. I don't know, just making some stuff up, letting the seeds sink up. Let's get this show started. Here we go.
Shut up and sit down.
The Business Bros Podcast was created for you. Learn from the business professionals who come to share their stories. Find out what's working in business, on social media, what's hot and what's not, straight from the mouths of successful entrepreneurs out there doing the real work. And now, welcome to another episode of
Business Bros.
Dude, the classic, some naughty by nature. Always a good jam. Always a good jam. Hip hop hooray, dude. We were talking
Hip
about
hop hooray.
Show, huh? We're like,
Hey, you know what would happen if like we sold our business today for like $1 billion?
Exit strategy. Damn,
Yeah,
we
well
just
that,
jumped
but
right
I
into
would
it,
go hip hop hooray. Like that would be my exit strategy, and that would be it. And I'd be like, yeah, dude, I'm out. Peace.
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
done.
Everybody wants that iconic dream. That's what they all.
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
a lot
that's
of
why
companies,
we
that's what they wanna
become
do.
entrepreneurs. That's the whole point, isn't it?
It should be, but like,
Isn't
okay,
it?
Yeah,
Isn't
should,
it?
It should
Isn't
be.
it?
It should be. However,
Well, you know what? I mean, all right, go ahead.
okay.
I'll make my
However,
argument
comma,
later.
I remember talking to a number of different people who have told us about building a business for a lifestyle. If that's
Okay.
the case, then their dream of being bought out by $1 billion company is a little bit different. I mean, would they like to win the lottery? Sure, of course, that would make things a lot easier. But a lifestyle business probably isn't looking for that kind of exit versus, let's say somebody else who's building an insurance agency, for example.
All right, sure. Tell me what that means, because I don't even know what that means. A lifestyle business? What does that mean?
Yeah, so some people don't really want to work a lot, right? They want to do hardly
Hell yeah.
anything. So they
Yeah.
just want to chill in a certain lifestyle. I'll give you an example. What if, I remember going to Hawaii and I was thinking, dude, what would I like if I had zero responsibility and I just wanted to kind of bum it on the beach as much as I can? What would I do? And I was like, you know what I would do? I would probably hang out right here where all the tourists are. And I'd probably a couple days, probably on Fridays or on Sundays, I'd hang out in the front of these hotels when people are checking in and be like, hey, you're leaving? Leave me your boogie boards and your chairs and whatever. And then I'd turn around and sell it to the same people on that other day. So pick 'em up.
Why would you do that if you have no responsibilities and you have all the money in the world and
No.
like
That was on the low end. That's a lifestyle. Like that's just a lifestyle
Oh.
choice, right? That's how I would make some extra money just to bum it on the beach. Like that's how I would do it, right? That to me would be an example of a low end lifestyle business. No exit strategy, right? Now you're talking if we cashed out big time, like if you won a lottery ticket, if your company went public and you had a huge IPO, or if somebody bought you out, like what would you do then?
I don't know. I'm just talking about exit strategies in general. So like you say a lifestyle business, and it's like, okay, so I guess you choose your lifestyle and you choose to do a business that like coincides with it.
Yeah.
But I guess if you choose to do that, then like your lifestyle is based on the business. Okay. Here's what I'm trying to say, right? Is when I think of exit strategy, like that's the first thing that I'm thinking about in business, period. Like in everything that I do, especially in the insurance business, is I'm always thinking of what's the end result? Like what happens 10 years down the line, 5 years down the line, 30 years down the line, whatever. Like how far out can I take this and think about it? And where do I want to be? Like I think about the future a lot, right? Like I'm always thinking of exit strategies for all of our business, I guess for like life. Like what is the exit strategy of we know what the exit strategy of life is, right? But
That's death. But that's not
what I
kind of
mean
the
though.
point, but yeah, that's not what you
But
mean.
like what's the exit strategy from the work life? That's the ultimate question for me, is like, what's the exit strategy for the work life? Because I am that person, right? I'm the one that doesn't really want to work. Like if I don't have to work, like I'm cool with that. But by the same token, like my brain wants to do things, my body wants to do things. Like I want to be active and engaged in my life, right? Even if it's not necessarily quote unquote money making activities, you know, and all of that. Like what is more important to you? Is it like to make a bunch of money or to have a certain kind of lifestyle?
Hmm. I like to be producing. I like to
You
be
like to be
valuable.
producing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I like to be
Mhm.
producing because I like to be valuable. That's how I find myself to be valuable, by being able to produce content, being able to produce income, being able to be a provider.
So like your self-worth, I was going to say self-worth. Your self-worth is based on like how much you can produce and how much you can do.
I think so. And
It's
that's
interesting.
like, it's funny because same thing when we talk about running, right? Like my
Right.
self-worth in that physical space is, well, how far can you push yourself? Like
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
comfortably, I don't do it like super traumatically, but I do try to get better. I do try to get better.
Yeah.
Right? Like I think that's just my nature.
You are always challenging yourself. That is absolutely part of your nature. You're always challenging yourself. And I mean, it's like
So for me,
I
like these
guess
exit strategies are not
uh-huh.
necessarily end all be all. It's
Okay.
like a period in time, right? So the journey for this particular venture has ended, and I have
Mhm.
successfully beat that level. Now it's on to the next level,
Right, right.
right? And so for me, though, that's how I see a lot of exit strategies. Sometimes it's like, you know, we have a product or service, and I test it out, and I'm like, ooh, did I like doing that? Was it easy? Was it difficult? Was, you know, are there things that I can fix? Is there something that I can modify and adapt? Or do I cut my losses right here and scratch it and then go on to something else or modify it to something else?
Mhm.
Like I hit those phases a lot. But I think what tripped me out was when we were talking to Ryan a little while ago at 1 o'clock, and that whole idea of, well, is it a pattern? Is it something that I do often, that I like build something up and I'm like, oh, that's cool, make money off of it, and then like, that was next. Is that a good thing, or is that something in my past that's like holding me back? Something saying,
Mm.
no, you can't take it to the next level. This is where you stop right here. Like it
It's
made me really
interesting.
question a lot of that stuff. You know, like there's a lot of our business, a lot of my previous little businesses and some of my existing little businesses could be thriving if I gave them that kind of effort. But I always tend to step back a little bit. I'm like, all right, I won. And
And
I
you don't
don't go to
want to
the next
you
level.
don't want to go on to the next level?
Like I like if I'm afraid to be challenged for some reason, even though I like
Well,
a challenge.
you like certain challenges. Like it gets to I mean, you always say like the startup is your favorite part.
The idea phase, right?
The idea
It's
phase
like,
is your
ooh,
favorite
we can
part.
do this. Ooh, we can do that.
Mhm.
Right. But I feel like that's a lot of people's things, right? In other words, for me, that sounds like um, I like the thought of a business,
Mhm.
not actually owning one.
And I like building like this piece goes here, this piece goes here, this piece goes here, this piece goes here. But like where I lack is having the resources to
Mm,
put all those right pieces in place. Like if I had all the resources, like I could put the pieces in the right place.
mm,
But it's
mm.
fun. Building
It's
businesses
fun.
is fun,
I gotta admit, it is fun.
right? It is fun, but exit strategy is also important,
But
right? So here's
and the thing about the
let
exit
me
strategy is, when do you think about it, right? A lot of people think
right.
about it at the end.
That's exactly what I was. Well, yeah, no, that too. But two things, right? First is when do you think about exit strategy? The second is um, what kind of exit strategy are you thinking of? Because one thing that I noticed that was really cool about our conversation just now is I'm talking about like my long-term exit strategy and like thinking way ahead, where you broke it down and you're like, well, no, I have this business going on. What's my exit strategy here? And I have this going on and I have what's my exit strategy here. And it really does have to be thinking about, okay, when is really my exit strategy from this project, from this venture, from this thing that I'm working on? Like, with Pipeline, when we first started it, you know, we bought that agency, right? And my thought was, what's my exit strategy to get out of this
This
location and being here all day, every day?
Yeah.
And so we built something that got me out of that. Then it was, what's my exit strategy so that I can go live in my RV? And so I created an exit strategy so that I could live on the road. And then what's my exit strategy for, this part and that part and this and that? And now it's like, okay, so I'm doing this partnership with this other company, this, potentially joint ventureship is what it seems like, or whatever, partner agency. And so what's my exit strategy from that? What does that look like? So it's just two different things that we're looking at. And I really like the way that your mindset worked on it. You're like, no, it's like each one of our each one of our projects has an exit strategy, needs an exit strategy. And to your point, what you were going to say was thinking about it before you jump into it.
Yeah. Because it reminds me of when we bought in Vegas, right? Like, fortunately, so I'll tell the story. So we went to Las Vegas to learn about real estate investing. It was one of those hotel things that you go.
They got us.
And they got
but
us.
Hey, you know what? They paid for it also, so it's cool.
They did pay for it all. You guys, I might as well tell that story. So
no.
What had happened was different story.
They paid for it. They paid for it.
They paid for it. They paid us to go, and so we thanked them, and we went to Vegas to learn about real estate. Well, at the end of this 3-day seminar, which we learned a ton, by the way, we were like 20 years old at the time, 2021, knew nothing about real estate. Walked out of there.
I wasn't even 21 yet.
Language, essentially. You weren't even 21. That's right. You weren't even 21 yet. So at the end, they take us on these tour buses around different neighborhoods, and they pop a couple agents in there to show us the neighborhoods, and now they take bus loads of people to open houses. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's freaking genius. We'll just take a bus load of people to come see your houses, and that'll be a huge open house. And that's really what it was. And so you get back on the bus and like, who wants to buy this house? And of course, everybody's like all pumped, and they're like, yeah. We ended up walking out of Vegas, one property addition to our asset
one property up.
Or so we thought, right? So the problem was, once we settled on all the contracts, we realized we were going to be losing $100 a month on that transaction.
Probably more than that, but yeah,
it was no, I think it was about $100. It wasn't that much, but it was. We weren't in a position to be spending an extra $100 on a property, much less have a second mortgage.
We had a Robert Kiyosaki moment.
We had. It was a bad investment because our exit strategy was buy in a market that's hot, sell at a top of the market. We were banking on appreciation. That was not a good exit strategy. It was a strategy, but it wasn't a good one. We knew stuff was too hot to handle, and we were banking on it never crashing anyways. So what we ended up doing is
markets don't crash.
Yeah, real estate markets never crash. Okay. Red flags floating everywhere. Boy. Everybody's in denial.
For those of you that are 2021 listening to us right now, this is real life experience. Like, we just went into this thing and we bought kind of blindly. We were, it was a time. But you know what? By the same token, I'm glad we did it at 20 and 21.
Yeah. So we took a risk.
We took huge risks. So we took huge risks because you know what? In the end, it wasn't going to kill us.
It wasn't. We didn't die though.
We didn't die.
Right?
But did you die?
But did you die? So what happened? So anyways, we're losing money on this rental property. And so we took a lesson from the stuff that we had learned, which was a lease option, and we turned a negative cash flow into a positive cash flow for about 1.5 years. And then we sold it at a profit. So it was a good deal. It ended up being a good deal. We just happened to get out of a market before it crashed. However, lucky, whatever it was.
That was luck.
But we were able to use what we learned and put it into action to find a new exit strategy. How do we get out of this? How do we make it happen? The exit strategy was still the same one from when we bought. It was to buy low and sell high, which is exactly what we did. But to survive the middle, that was the work, right? That was the lesson that we had to figure out. That was the nitty gritty, the little system that we put in place, which at that point was a lease option. But after that, it pretty much worked on its own. And and I think once we got a taste of that, it was awesome because we would make random trips to Vegas to collect rent. right? Because we heard it was a write-off. We didn't know what the hell that meant at the time, but it gave us a reason to go to Vegas. And so, that was the story, right? You have an exit strategy, and once you know exactly where you're going, you know how you're going to exit this deal. Everything in the in between is the lessons that you're learning. This is where you get to get yourself out of the game, right? That's what the work really is. That's why, when James and I were sitting down talking about, okay, well,
but exit strategies are an important part of the work, right? Because it's like the Earl Nightingale thing, right? If you don't know where you're going, there's no way that you're gonna know how to get there. Like you gotta write the map to get there, and it's gonna be two different things, right? If you want a lifestyle business, as you said, right? I mean, whatever the lifestyle is that you want. Like if you want to learn something really highly advanced and get paid a shit ton of money for, what then that's your particular lifestyle. If your lifestyle is something else, then that's, the beach bum idea that you were talking about, then that's what you get. But where was I going with that? I had a point.
I'm not sure.
What's that?
I was like, I'm not sure, but you were pointing out the different examples of exit strategies, the low end exit strategies for lifestyle business, and I think you were going to go into the other side.
But the other side, and the other side of it is how do you, like, for me, exit strategy is always about how do I work myself out of a job? How do I create something that somebody else can operate while I move up a peg and do less work, right? It's like that pyramid.
Yeah.
The higher up the pyramid you go, the smaller your space is, which means that the stuff that you actually do is less, but like your responsibilities are much higher.
This is why the whole idea of where it becomes tax the rich and all these different things that people get mad at, and the rich always looking back at like, dude, you weren't there when I had to build all of this. Like, do you understand that I employ a lot of people? Like, I provide a service for a lot of people. I provide employment for a lot of people. Like, I pay a lot of taxes. I do a lot of this stuff, but I've afforded myself this time. Like, when you hear people say I've afforded myself this time, like, what are they saying?
We had that conversation.
They're literally saying that they've earned enough income in systematic ways from different streams. And what did they buy with it?
Time.
They bought time, right? So they have their ideas for their business. They have their concepts. They know exactly what they need to do to get themselves out of the equation, but for that equation to continue to produce, right? That's really what a business is. And it's, I have a lot of little businesses. Some of them, they are nice cash positive ones. Some of them, not so much. Right? Like, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. And if you give them love and attention, they will grow. Right? But what is the exit strategy? How do you grow them so that you're not the one stuck in there doing the work all of the time?
Systems, systems, systems. All day long, I will preach systems. It's all about save yourself time, energy, and money. Systems. Build out automations, write out standard operating procedures, do it the same way every single time, and write down how you do it so that you can teach somebody else that process. And I mean, break it down to as small as steps as you need to.
Or use any screen recording device, like any of those things that are out there. And literally, you can do a Zoom meeting, you can do a StreamYard, you can do I think it's Loom is one of the other ones. I forgot what the name is. A lot of these different platforms. And literally, while you're doing a task, just record it. Because now it's a documented process of you literally talking through what you're doing. And at the same time, it's recording your screen. Now you have instructions. This is something that somebody else can duplicate and learn from, right? That's really what it is. You're developing a process and a system each and every time. And there's some times where processes are already built and you just pay for those because somebody else has been putting in that effort and that time to develop the system. This is why we go to a CRM and we don't build our own CRM. Right. This is why we use PyDrive, for example. This is why we use Google Calendars, or this is why we use StreamYard. Like, all these different things we use because we've developed our own systems and processes to make things smooth and to go the way we want them to. So I think this is a perfect time for a pitch, Ham. What do you think?
Sure, why not? What are we pitching?
What are we pitching? our MVP, dude, our minimum viable product that we were working on today. So here's what we're gonna be doing here very shortly. We're gonna focus on being podcasters because that is what we do. The
You got the
name
picture
of the game,
back there behind you to show it, to prove it.
All those.
I was talking about the icons. I mean, these guys right up here.
Oh, the logos,
the logos, the
Yeah.
logs,
the logos. Anyways,
you just can't be bothered to put that extra O in there.
Yeah,
They got to be
yeah.
logs.
Yeah, they got to be logs. You got to shorten a 5-letter word to 4 letters.
You got, yeah.
And if you did that, it would be logs.
That's just one
by the
letter
way.
too many. I mean, we gotta try and focus on as many 4-letter words as possible.
Damn, when we stumble and fumble, dude, we call each other out, dude. That's how we roll. It's like the
It's
quarters
true, we
back in
do.
the day, dude.
Like the quarters.
Remember that? Those were
Yep.
awesome.
Yep.
All right.
Anyway, so
back to the
pitching.
pitch. So
Our minimum
we're
viable
podcasters.
product is the podcast.
Podcast, ladies and gents. Look, we are booked out 10 weeks in advance. We create content for you guys to start giving you a little push in the right direction to get yourself a little confidence, to put your image out there, to get your story out there. That's what we do, right? Every single day, 5 days a week. And we are booked out 10 weeks in advance, but we got 2 opportunities for you guys to jump the line. The first one is our $97 option. You get to pick from a 1 p.m. spots. It's a way more open calendar. You don't got to wait 10 weeks. So you get this podcast the way we do professionally with James's fire intro. So you have something to listen to every single day to get you pumped and ready to rock and roll. Because it's the fire intro.
It is fun. It is fun.
Fire, rock and roll.
Okay, yeah, it's a stretch.
All right, just fine. Damn, back at it again, huh? All right,
I'm picking on you
bust
today.
Me. That's how
too
we
funny,
roll.
Too funny. Okay, so
All right,
I mean, yeah. So
the other
definitely-
option. So the other option is the VIP special. So you get the same 1 p.m. spot, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna create
Wait,
a
that's not what we
promo
were
video.
talking about today.
Oh yeah, that's
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 what we were talking about.
no.
We were talking about.
We're talking about the upsell after that. That's the $897. I haven't got there yet.
All right.
Man, jumping the
Interrupt-
gun.
interrupt-
Spoiler
okay.
alert! James jumped the
Spoiler
gun.
All right.
All right. So, anyways, we got the $297. This is a VIP. This is where we take we create a video promo for your episode, kind of like a movie trailer. We drop it on all our social medias as well as boost it, as well as paid ads with Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to get your message out in front of more peoples. And if you like that stuff, right? If you're ready to start marketing yourself, to create a brand for yourself, because that's really what it is. And I'll give you the ultimate test. You want to know the power of why we do a podcast, and what we recommend is that you do one too, that we help you produce, by the way. The reason why you do it is very simple. If you Googled your name, you would show your results. Go ahead and take a look at those. And then Google my name, HERNAN SIAS.
And
see
no
what happens.
lie, I mean this even works for me because like I haven't done the work that this dude has to put his name
Create
out
content
there.
and put
Like,
your name out there.
my name isn't so much out there, but this is what I wanted to do. Chrome tab.
This is about building a brand. This is about being asked about what you do on a daily basis. So if you're a realtor, for example, like if people don't come up to you and when they ask you, like when they say what's up to you, they're like, hey, what's up? How's the market? If they're not asking you questions like that, that means you haven't done a good enough job of creating a brand of yourself that you are a realtor or an insurance agent or whatever it is.
For me, right? I Google my name. This first one up top, jamesias.com. That ain't me. The second one is me, and the third one is me. There's a few. Okay, the top 3, 3 out of the top 4 are me. That's cool. But
And
then
that's
it's like
not
a
it.
bunch of stuff that isn't me at all. And there's like one picture of me that was on somebody else's podcast, and maybe a Facebook. Like none of this stuff is me. All right. And then we just changed the first name. Look at this guy. This is Bros Podcast. Hernan Sias, Pipeline Insurance. This is definitely the real estate bro. Look at this. Hernan
This is
Sias.
what
Hernan Sias.
happened.
This is
And it's
the
not
work.
just page 1. It's page 3,
Exactly.
and page 3,
Page
and page
2 and
4,
page-
and page 5.
Look at all those pictures. Every single
This
one.
is what creating a podcast can do for you. If somebody wants to do business with you, they don't know you, what's the first thing that's going to happen? They're going to Google your name. They're going to search you out. And if you're not creating a brand for yourself, you're not creating a name for yourself, it's not about being the most famous person in the world. It's about being visible online where the world is existing and spending most of their time. And that's what a podcast can do for you. Right? We're 844 episodes in. We got this shit dialed in. We know how to run a show efficiently because we do it every single day. If you want help growing your brand,
and you don't have to do it every day.
No, that's the thing, right? We are giving you the ability to post content every day because we're going to help you do all that stuff.
You post content every day because it's all about look. It's not about podcasting every day. We podcast every day because we're crazy and we enjoy this stuff, and we are out here doing this because. Well, mostly it's his fault.
We're all over the loony.
But for you,
and in this cartoony,
it's all about just being in front of people as often as possible. That's what we were talking about earlier today. When it comes to what we want to do with any of our businesses, it's always about getting in front of people as often as possible. One of the things that we've done, us crazy folk over here, is to do this podcast every single day. You, as a business owner, whatever, you don't have to do it every day, but you do want content every day. And that's what we're going to help you do by doing just 2 episodes a month.
2 episodes a month. So you record 2 episodes a month. So on your calendar, it's 45 minutes once every 2 weeks. That's it. We'll take it from there. We'll create all the content you need to start building your brand. Is it the most engaging where you're going to get millions of fans and build your popularity that way? No, it's not designed to do that. It's to build your presence online. It's to build a brand that people know and recognize so that when you meet other people that don't know you yet, they recognize you, your face, your brand, and they ask you an industry question, which is your tee up to the pitch. Right? That's what it's all about, giving you opportunities to grow and build your business via branding. So that's $8.97 a month, and we'll take care of creating content for you via what we know best, podcasting, baby. So that's those are our MVPs. That's our menu. That's what we're going to help you do. If you need help with some other stuff, we definitely got you on that. We can help you with your Facebook ads, your YouTube ads, building your paid advertising, which is a whole different strategy from building your marketing strategy. Agent. You want to become an insurance agent? We got you with that as well, because that's where James's practice is. And yeah, that's it. That's all we got today, ladies and gents. Exit strategies. How are you going to get yourself out of doing the work on the day-to-day and building your side hustle? That's what we talked about. Ham crushed it because he's a systems guy, and that's really what it comes down to. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Hasta mañana. Peace. We're out.
Thank you for listening to the Business Bros Podcast. Are you looking to get more clients or to increase your income? Hernan, the business bro, can help you generate referrals through the power of podcasting. And James, the insurance bro with Pipeline Insurance, can help you effectively add insurance to your existing business. If you are ready to create wealth today and generational wealth for tomorrow, email businessbros@siasfirst.com to schedule a free consultation. Or join the Business Bros Network, www.businessbros.biz.